Well, guys, I knew it was only a matter of time before the establishment elitists and their little SJW foot soldiers started to go after Patreon. You know, when the adpocalypse happened a couple of months ago, and it's still affecting today, where YouTubers saw their ad revenue plummet by 75% or more, myself included, because the Wall Street Journal put out fake news claiming that there were a bunch of racist videos with ads on them, and a lot of corporations pulled their ads, costing YouTube $750 million. I knew that a lot of YouTubers, they were moving to Patreon. I've already had a Patreon since late 2015 because I've been feeling the censorship for quite some time now. But after the adpocalypse happened and a ton of YouTubers went to Patreon for additional financial support, basically saying that you, the viewer, now have the power in your hands to fund the content that you agree with and you enjoy, because YouTubers can no longer rely on anonymous corporate sponsors to fund the work they do. But I knew that when all these YouTubers began fleeing to Patreon, it would only be a matter of time before Patreon began to crack down on alternative media and conservative-leaning voices. It was only a matter of time. Apparently, one YouTuber, she's a traditional housewife, and I'll put a link to her channel below, she got her Patreon page apparently deleted. Let's watch.
Hey everybody, it's Ayla. I wanted to make a quick video just to let you guys know that my Patreon has been taken down. I got an email yesterday completely out of the blue without warning that they had deleted my page because I violated their hate speech rules. Of course, I never actually violated any hate speech rules. There was no hate speech on my page. All my page was updates on my book, which is about traditional living. It is not a pro-white book. And pictures of my family, videos of my family, and that was it. That was the only thing I had on my Patreon, but I was still deplatformed. So I wanted to let you guys know I'm really sorry I wasn't able to give anybody any warning. I am working with some other platforms to get some crowdfunding and all of that going again. So I will let you guys know when that is up and running. Okay? Thanks so much for your support. Bye.
Wow.
Hey,
so
everybody.
It's actually incredibly ironic to me that they they accuse her of hate speech, which is funny because back in 2015, when I released my ultra mega viral video called "Women Get a Taste of the Gender Equality They've Always Wanted," YouTube deleted that video after getting like 1 million views in a few days, and they said it was hate speech. Facebook eventually deleted the video as well, saying it was, not, friendly to their guidelines. If you want to see that ultra mega viral video that probably has 25 million views right now or more across all the different platforms where people have uploaded it, I'll put a link below and in a card up here so you can watch the censored, deleted viral video, which I had to post on my website. But really fascinating that she would say that they banned her because of fucking hate speech. They're coming for us, guys. You know, back in late 2015, when I created my own personal Patreon page, which currently have 98 patrons, of whom I'm extremely grateful for, and your guys' support is essential. I did a video talking about why I thought it was important, and one of the clips from my video talking about my new Patreon page was this clip, which I want you guys to see. It's actually a couple of notorious SJW feminists talking about how alt-right or alternative conservative voices, basically traditionalism, I don't give a fuck, red pill, I don't care what you call it, that these feminists were basically complaining at the United Nations that these alternative media voices make money on YouTube with ads, they make money on Patreon. Watch.
We need people to actually enforce their own terms of service and shut down bad actors, bad faith websites. There are individuals on services like YouTube that have made a living off of abusing people like Anita and I, who monetize this, who see the mobs, who aren't anonymous, who raise their funds this way to continue attacking, stalking, and harassing us because it's a cottage industry at this point.
They've known for a while. See, before the internet and YouTube and Patreon, if you had a different opinion from the mainstream media, your voice was never heard because the mainstream media can only put out politically correct content. The internet has allowed politically incorrect voices to become the new mainstream. And the or rather the pro-political correctness foot soldiers can't fucking stand it. And so now they're trying to go after the funding, which really makes it so goddamn important that you guys become the foot soldiers on the ideological battlefield. It is more important now than ever that you support the content creators that you enjoy and that you agree with. If you're not supporting them, you are basically giving up on the battlefield, because the Wall Street Journal already convinced corporations to pull their ads from YouTube over supposedly racist content, saying that PewDiePie with 53 million subscribers was a Nazi sympathizer. Total nonsense, total bullshit, total fake news. They're coming for us, guys. They already destroyed us on YouTube, practically. They are clearly going after us on Patreon. So, geez, I mean, I don't even know if I should tell you guys to support me on Patreon at this point. But it will be interesting to see how long it is before Patreon starts silencing these voices, because corporate's Patreon, they don't want to hear this shit. So, this is crazy. They're coming for us, and they're coming for us at every turn, at every venture. And the truth is that if you are not directly funding the people that you enjoy, the people that you watch, you are basically leaving those content creators naked and vulnerable against the political correctness lynch mob. So, it's funny, there's some black supremacist YouTuber, Cynthia G is her name. I've heard about her a couple times, and I just went around looking around. I typed in Black Power I went to Google. I typed in Black Power Patreon, so I could see if I could find some hateful Patreon accounts on Patreon. And one of the accounts that came up when I typed in Black Power Patreon was Cynthia G, who I've heard of her a couple times. She makes YouTube videos. She's a I was going to say black supremacist, but she's light brown. She's a light brown supremacist, also known as a white palm supremacist. You know, a lot of these black supremacists, they have a severe melanin deficiency in their palms. One could argue that that might be the very origin of black supremacy. Black supremacy begins when a racist black person wakes up, realizes that their palms are white, and then they get conflicted. They're like, but I'm black, but I'm white, but I don't know what I am. Fuck white people. That's one theory. Well, I looked through some of her posts here, and there's actually one post that's called Why Caucasoid Devils Find Joy in Murdering. And let's just be honest, Caucasoid Devils is the white version of the N-word. Let's just be honest. Caucasoid Devils is the white version of the N-word. If you say Caucasoid Devils and you're a black person trying to verbally attack a white person, Caucasoid Devils is your version of the N-word. So, is this not hate speech? Is this not hateful? Will this not get banned? Will the white liberals running Patreon shut down Cynthia G? Now, of course, I'm not calling for her Patreon page to be shut down, but the point is double standards. Let's talk about black privilege. Let's talk about black privilege. But anyways, so I'm not surprised that this is happening. They're coming at us on YouTube. They'll come after us on Patreon. Where's the last fucking, resort? PayPal? At least Peter Thiel is sort of on our side. He supported Trump. So maybe it'll all end up on PayPal at the end of the day. So I just want to get this video out because I think it's important, because I knew this was coming. It's only a matter of time before Patreon starts shutting us down. So how long is it till Patreon shuts down my Patreon account? I don't know, but in the meantime, it should be interesting to watch. And hey, if you guys support me on Patreon, you'll get first-hand access to see how your support is being cut off by the political correctness establishment, by the establishment media, by the elites, whatever the hell you want to call them. Thank you guys for watching, and put links to all this stuff in the description below. Take care.
fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.